Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading for this full moon in Libra that is happening today alongside Venus going direct. So, Venus is the ruler of Libra, where this full moon is happening today, which feels like a very intertwined, correlated couple of events that it's just so symbolic how it's happening today on the 12th, which is fascinating because we are starting this message with the 12th major arcana, which is the Hangman, and I'm going to show you in a second. But it's just so fascinating how the cards and the messages, it's like they flow in and out of each other. It's like they are this river that is just flowing with messages and bringing us all like new information so that we can connect and understand and flow together with life. So this message is connected also to the last collective reading that I did for Mercury going direct at the beginning of this past week. So there is this 1 week difference between Mercury going direct and now Venus going direct. And it's interesting because in that reading for the Mercury going retrograde, going direct in Pisces, I feel like there was this message about waiting for the right moment because there was a test going on, right? It's like we were all being tested. And it's interesting how here it feels like the waiting time is over, but we still have to continuing this path with a lot of discernment, because it's almost like the chaos is all around. It's the wind, okay? So because it's surrounding us, it's like if we allow ourselves to be taken by it or to be overwhelmed by it, it's like it's going to steal away our light. It's going to rob our integrity, and that's not what we want. So remaining discerning, remaining mindful and patient, it's going to be almost like this alchemical work for us to now work with Mercury direct and also Venus direct as we reach the apex of this lunar cycle with the full moon. And we are talking about relationships. But before I go any further into the message, let me introduce you my deck. So I'm using the combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards that I have designed. So you'll see both of them in your reading today. Although in this part of the reading, there are only tarot cards. And whenever that happens in collective readings, maybe you already know this, it just brings this soothing, calming, simple energy and atmosphere to the entire reading, just because the tarot deck came before the astrological oracle deck. So it's almost like these more ancient or known archetypes. And you know, the spread here looks like there is this axis, looks like there is this column that is the central column starting with the opening card, and I'm going to show you the Hangman, as I said. But it starts with the Hangman and it moves to the Temperance, which is the central card, and then the Sun, which is the bottom of this column. So there is this axis of three very potent major arcana that are leading to our, it's almost like leading to our solar plexus because it's the sun. So it wants to reignite our desire, reignite our potential, reignite our confidence so that we can move, right? It's like this ignition point that needs to be it's like reintegrated or carefully used, because since we are starting with the Hangman, it's like we have been waiting for this moment. Now that this Venus is also moving direct, it's like we're ready to see the value within us, but also in the other. Specifically because Venus rules Libra, and we have this full moon in Libra, which is just it's like highlighting our partnerships, and it is exactly what the next card is talking about, which is the give and take. And it's not just the Six of Pentacles that is reinforcing that, but really the Temperance, as I said, right? It's like the Temperance is right underneath the Hangman, but it's coming beside the Six of Pentacles. So these two cards are emphasizing the minor arcana version of the relationships that we have in our lives and how much we value them, right? It's like, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of relationships that we have. It's like the people around us that we see the value and they see the value in us, a reciprocal give and take, and how this is done not only in the human level, in the 3D level, right, but also in this archetype, in this how do I say this, archetypical level of this exchange, because it requires this giving and this receiving. And it's almost like if we're not in this alignment, because okay, so the Hangman here is not talking about just this waiting period that we have been, working alchemically with our relationships and how we value them, and really thinking about how we relate to one another, right? It's like, what are the relationships that we are nourishing and that are nourishing us back? So, all of this retrograde season for Mercury and for Venus helped us see that. So we have been holding this pendulum still, right? It's almost like we had to decrease its movement, or it's like slow down, so that we would really perceive what was going on in our relationships, what were the values, what were the essential core it's like connections, right, to our people, to our inner circle. So this is a pendulum that is starting to move again, but it's slowly doing so. It's a mindful moving. Whomever works with pendulums, would know that the pendulum has its own rhythm. It's not really up to us. It's almost like it's beyond our control. So, and if we are trying to manipulate, it's like we are going to have, all of this overwhelming energy that I'm going to get in a little bit. But just to reinforce again, and just to just expand on the energy of this pendulum. So the first thing that I was seeing was this initial movement of this pendulum, but it's not specifically because, the sun is coming, at the end of this column of 3 major arcana, as I said. It's almost like because we are starting to re-engage in relationships in a mindful way, in a wise way, right? It's like knowing when to give, but also knowing when to receive. It's not just giving or just receiving. It is, a give and take, a balanced give and take. But the other thing that I was seeing, especially because of the sun, this is almost like the top view of the movement of this pendulum. So if we were to have just one perspective, like a front perspective, right? Just like this, it's like this view that might be very restrictive. It's like we were going to see the movement as a linear movement, right? It's almost like turning the 3D perspective into a 2D perspective. So it would be just swinging from side to side. So in our perspective, it wouldn't have the enriching point of view when we take this new perspective that we have been harnessing, or that we have been rethinking and reviewing all of this retrograde season for Mercury and Venus. We would miss the nuances, like the slight change, of the angle, right? It's almost like we want to go to this entire circle. We want to visit each ray of this sun. So we want to know each direction, each angle of this 360-degree circle. And we cannot do that if we are still holding a very limited linear perspective. Therefore, we need to turn this 2D perspective, this linear perspective, into a more 3D understanding of things, ability to see. And we can only see that if we are engaging in relationships. So it's almost like here, it's not just talking about slowly engaging with people in a very mindful way, in a very conscious way, but it's talking about like every relationship. It's almost like this is lining up like all of the people that are really, really significant in your life, right? In our lives. And I feel like, it doesn't mean that we need to have many people, like an extensive list of names, It's not that. It's not, what I'm thinking now, maybe you're thinking this as well. It's like, it's not the number of followers or subscribers or, people that are your friends, right? In social media. I'm talking about like real connections, valuable connections, because these are the ones that you want to deeply engage with. Not just on this 3D level, which is crucial so that you have this 3D perspective of the movement of the pendulum, which is not just a linear movement, right? But it's also about like who you celebrate life with. And I'm just hearing the people outside celebrating the football game, the soccer game for those in the US. So let's welcome that celebration, the celebration that we, get to share with others. So celebrating this new way of engagement with people that matter to us, right? In the physical, in this 3D level, but also in this more etheric, more subtle realm, right? Of the spirit, of the archetypes. So this is what is happening. But if we allow ourselves to go too fast or to engage already, either, give too much or receive too much, or, just realize that we are slowly flowing in a way that feels out of balance, so out of this temperance energy, it's like we're going to feel the wind. It's like the wind is going to pick up. This is how I'm seeing the Eight of Swords. So this is a card that is talking about the wind being all around. So it's like the potential for chaos is all around, right? It's like it's inherent to nature, to this plane, to reality, right? But it's also in our minds. And it's like we have the ability to tame, in a sense. It's not about controlling the pendulum, but it's breathing, and it's like in the exchange with these valuable people, it's like, how do we not allow ourselves to, fall down into this spiral of, dark thinking is what I'm receiving right now. It's like, don't allow yourselves to be overtaken by these hurricanes of, thought forms, because this is just the wind picking up. But it also means that the more that you feel that things could become overwhelming again, it's almost like you're going to be, discerning enough to slow down again, especially because the Five of Pentacles is coming next. So it's almost like, the pendulum starts to swing, in a slow motion, and then it starts to pick up. It's like, it's almost like it's wanting to test like how far it can go, right? Especially because of this. It's like, okay, so how far can I go in this direction without losing my integrity, right? So the moment that you are too far to one side or to another side, it's like you step down from, engaging with multiple people at the same time with the same depth, right? Because it's almost like, yes, you have recharged your energy, your pendulum is ready to swing and experiment, but you can only really engage with like real depth. It's like one person at a time. It's like you're making a list of all those that are, worth giving your time and receiving, this very powerful exchange. But if you feel like you are there for longer than it needed, or it's like some sort of imbalance, or like reaching the limit, right? It's like that this is how far you could come, how deep you could go, and then you take a step back and you come back to your integrity. So this is it's not even self-preservation. I don't feel like it's that. It's more like, okay, I have engaged, I have given everything that I had, or at least what I could give, and I have received what I needed, or what this other person was willing to offer. So now that the exchange has completed, before the wind picks up too much and becomes overwhelming, this is when you retreat. But it's like this retreat to remain integral, to remain conscious, to remain grounded, to realize who you are in those relationships. So it's not about going so far off that you lose yourself in the other. Not at all. This is like this harmonious exchange. So therefore, in order for you to find your own light, right? The sun also representing who you are, your essence, the light of your being. Take this step back whenever you feel like things are just, it's like the first signs that things are too much, or too intense, or too deep, or maybe too shallow. It's like re-engage with yourself. It's like focus on you, right? But not just the you, the human vessel, not just the personality of yourself, not just your ego, right? This human body. It's like reconnect with the light of your soul, the light of your spirit, because it wants to remind you of every aspect that still you have to visit. It's almost like, yes, you are re-engaging, the movement of the pendulum is restarting. It's like choosing very wisely who you want to engage with, the depth that you feel like you need, or you can contribute to this person, right? It's like this mutual reconnection. But the moment that it gets too much, it's like when to come back to yourself, because it's like there are other sides, there are other relationships, there are other people. It's like there are other angles to your circle, to your inner circle. Maybe these are the people in your inner circle that ignite your own light, right? It's like they also help you to see your own potent light, but you do the same, because it is an equal give and take. It is balanced. So the more you realize that, when you need to retreat and go back to your integrity, you're not just doing so in this physical level, but you're doing so, to remain integral in spirit, in soul, in body. So it's like you are respecting this movement of the pendulum, that once it reaches, the limit to one side, it wants to go back, and experiment what is maybe the opposite, but it's like just this complementary other perspective of things, right? And then it can go slightly to the other side and slightly to the other side. So it doesn't have to be like just in one axis, in one linear position. You see, it's like it's not just here or there and here or there. It's not just going from one side to the other, or from one opposite to the other, or one extreme to the other. It can be a lot more loose, or a lot more flexible, right? It's like this, almost like this star shape, right? It wants to visit every sort of angle. So every time it's like a slightly movement to the side, so it visits the entirety of your soul, of who you are. So it's like experimenting with others so that you can know about yourself. It's like different facets of yourself, right? But never losing sight of the true light that you are. And because of that, it's like you can re-engage, in deeper and deeper conversations, but knowing that it reaches a moment that before you are negatively affected by it, you know, crossing a boundary that, you know, it wasn't healthy. It's like you just go back to yourself and you revisit perhaps this list so that you know more and more and more about yourself, and what you can offer is the essence of your soul. It's like the pure light of your being, right? It's like your authentic self. So therefore, this can only be an authentic relationship. There is no other way of this not being authentic if what you are, you know, offering is your authentic self. But because you also knew the right moment to retreat back to yourself, right? And so that's when things are a little bit more perceivable, or a little bit more, it's like you understand more how this engagement happens in the 3D, which is, you know, the Three of Pentacles ending here, this portion of the reading. This card is talking about engaging with people, you know, to the degree that you know that you can collaborate, right? To the degree that you can identify that these are the right people for this moment, for this collaboration, for this project, for this conversation. And once the co-creation is completed, it's almost like now it's completed. It's like you don't feel like you're lacking anything, especially because, you know, we go from the 6 to the 5 to the 3, all pentacle cards, right? So it feels like in order for you to not overwhelm yourself, right, not be overtaken by the wind or by the fear or by whatever negative thought forms were there or could be there, if you cross this boundary, right, and if you stretch yourself too thin, it's like you would feel the lack. You would feel like, you know, if you are, you know, making an extensive list of your personal inner circle and you want to engage kind of in a similar way, or at least in a deep way with each one, but you feel like you're losing your integrity in this process, right? Because you haven't been respecting your own boundaries. It's like you're going to feel like you're actually losing friends or losing relationships, or, you know what I mean? It's like filtering down, but really this is not what is happening. It's like you are engaging because, you know, the Six of Pentacles is not talking about 6 people. It's talking about you and another, you and another, you and another. So at the end of the day, it's almost like you and other 3, let's say, just for the sake of the numbers, right? It doesn't have to be that. But it's like it's you engaging with others. So if you remain, you know, thoughtful and just connected with yourself, right? Just conscious and aware of your light, you're going to realize that, you know, these 3 pentacles that are able to co-create something in this material world, even if it is a connection, right? This is also a co-creation. It doesn't have to actually materialize something as, you know, a project or, you know, whatever material form it has. It's like it can be just the connection, the truthful connection between 3 people, right? You included. It's like you with each one of these people, right? So this is almost like the true way to co-create things, to be engaged in meaningful relationships. And now you have this other perspective because you have allowed yourself to visit all of these angles, right? Without feeling like you're lacking anything. It's like you're actually receiving exactly what you need to co-create with the exact valuable people that you have already, I feel like. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go next. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very, very happy to see you in the extended. I'm going to leave the link down below. If not, yeah, we'll see each other next time. Happy full moon. May you enjoy this Venus direct, also Mercury direct. And I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.